And that's when I just said, I'm doing an Ironman. I mean, everybody stopped eating. My wife looked at me cross-eyed, and I said, listen, y'all need to take a deep breath. I've already paid the money. This is happening.
Was she worried for you?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just,
yeah. Yeah, no, she was. It's okay to ask. You can ask anything. She was, and it was Ironman Arizona, and the swim was in Tempe Town Lake, and beautiful place. And when I crossed the finish line, the first person I saw was my daughter. I crossed the finish line, sweaty hugs and kisses. After that, that was my wife said, "No, you can never do another one." And all I said was, "We'll see."
Good for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll live to talk another day, is what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, of course, at the moment, I had at that immediate moment. Matter of fact, all I could say after I finished crossed the finish line was, "My knee really hurts, but I'm so happy." That's all I could say. And but anyway, we got off track there. But I'll just you asked the question.
No, that's not off track. That's
okay.
I want to ask you, the title "Wake Up to Die Again" suggests that for you, transformation isn't a single event.
Right.
It's a cycle. So I'm curious, when you're in the middle of one of those deaths, how do you know which part of yourself are worth carrying forward and which ones have just outlived their usefulness? Because I imagine some of those identities, like soldier, inventor, executive, Iron Man, they don't go quietly.
No.
So I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So your question is on the dark side, right?
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. No, that's actually, I prefer to talk about that, to be honest.
Well, everyone has a dark side. Now, it's how you use it, when you use it, and to the level of intensity, to whatever appropriate means. If you go overboard, you have to, there's no, it's an on or an off sometimes. I don't mean to.
No, and honestly, again, transparently, I actually prefer to talk about this because that's where people are right now. I don't give a crap about the success. I don't care. What I want to talk about, and thank you for asking the question, is tell me who you are at 2:00 in the morning. You want to get me fired up? Start telling me about 2:00 in the morning.
You're the finished product right now. You've had a lot of products and they're completed, and you're a new product. I'm a new product right now.
That's
after
correct.
30 plus. And
That's
this
correct.
is, by the way, when I did this podcast, I didn't tell my family until I already did it, and it was already happening, and I already had guests already on, and I already bought cameras, and everything was, because for me, it was just, it's just, I slipped right into it. I asked questions in the office. Now I'm asking questions online. So I've got that, but we're talking about the emotion attached to where you live and die.
Yes. Oh, no, 100%. So I do have to say this again to put this in context, okay? Looking back at my life, in part, the book talks about these series of seasons, these waves of wake up to die again moments. It's a 24 chapter book, and each of the chapters could have their own podcast, and I'm not joking. And this story about the $3 million, just to put some context to this, Nick, is early in the book. The water gets a lot deeper after the $3 million. But since we talked about that, when, and I should say after the event, all the things that one would expect happened immediately thereafter, of the anger, the rage, burn the earth down. All of those things happened. I exercised enormous, almost militaristic restraint during that period of time. And in that restraint, this was the first time in my life where the events were so harmful mentally and psychologically that I did not directly answer the following question. I intuitively answered it, which is, what are you going to protect? And at all cost, and I emphasize the word all, at all cost, I was going to protect my wife, my 2.5-year-old son, and my pregnant wife, my 2.5-year-old son, was what I was going to protect. What did that mean? That meant I was going to show up and be a dad. We were going to wrestle on the floor. We were going to build tents. We were going to swim. Whatever we could afford to do, I was going to tell my wife every time we hung up the phone before we hung up, I love you. Every night before we went to bed, I love you. Every time we departed from each other, I love you. That was the one and only thing that I could hold on to when all of that drama, if I may, hit. And why did I go there first? It's because I do really believe that love heals all things. I really believe that. And I believe it because I experienced it. And I experienced it because of the great family that I was raised in, the great grandparents that I had. But where I really felt it was the unconditional love that my wife gave me and my son gave me. So, yeah, we had bad days. There were bad days, not weeks, not months. And so when you ask, where did I go? That's what I turned. First of all, that's what I turned to. Now, what did I have to discard? Believe it or not, the things I had to discard were not things that I could show you. I can't show you about how do you discard the anger from an event like that happening, because you carry that. And eventually, I can answer that question, how I discarded it. But guess what? Anger and rage always leave scars. And I say two things about scars. One, don't ever hide your scars. I did for a long time, but don't hide them, because scars are the very thing that are evidence of what came to kill you, but it failed. So you should be proud of your scars. As a matter of fact, if I could show you my cell phone, there's a lion head on the front of it. He has a scar right over his nose. And I look at that all the time as a reminder. But I retreated to the family where I received that unconditional love, and I rallied around that. And that's what got me up in the mornings. That's what, maybe I couldn't go to sleep, but anyway, that's what I did there. And then as time went by, yes, I had to work through, I had to process the anger, but I didn't do that at the expense of my wife and my son. I separated those. There was a firewall there. And yes, I internalized all that garbage. And yes, I carried that crap around. And yes, it would leak out from time to time. Sure, it did. Right. I love talking about this, and I love talking about it because I guarantee you there is someone listening right now that is carrying a weight with them, and they don't understand that you cannot get to the other side of yourself until you let that weight go. It's not going to fit through the keyhole, man.